Padlet. I formally welcome all of you to this session. This is the second session. We already had one session last Friday in which we covered certain aspects about Padlet, and today's session is going to be an extension to that. Before I actually start with the session, I would request all of you to feel free to ask your queries or to put across your points. Use the chat. Intermittently, I'll be taking some breaks, and I'll request Anuj to share the queries or the thoughts that are there in the chat with me, and I'll try to answer all of that. So let it be a very participative session. So should we begin? I'm now going to share the screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. Fine. So here we are. Just give me a second. I'm having some issues with the Chrome. Let me just close that. Okay, so here we begin. This is the session on Padlet. And as I said, this is the second session. We already had one last Friday. Today, we'll take it from there. But before I do that, a quick recap on what was done in the last session, okay? So here, in the last session, we did what is a Padlet. So you know that Padlet is a collaborative tool. It is a digital canvas which allows students, educators to post in their thoughts and gives you real-time collaboration. So a lot of you have been using Padlet and you know the advantages of it. But today, my objective is going to be to take you through some of the creative ways in which the Padlets can be used. And there are various formats in Padlet. And depending upon the activity that you planned for your students, there will be different ways in which you can use the Padlet. Okay, so that is going to be my objective for today. So as I said, Padlet is a collaborative tool and it's a free tool. In the free version, you are allowed to make 3 Padlets. And after you're done with your 3 Padlets, what you could do is you could delete the Padlets that you don't need, which will allow you to make more Padlets. So at a time, you can have only 3 Padlets. But as I said, the free version allows you with all the features that are also given to the paid version or the pro version. Okay, so I've been using the free version only and I haven't faced any problems. I'll tell you exactly how to delete your Padlet or how to save the content that you have received in the Padlet. Okay, so that is about the introductory part of a Padlet. You know that you can access a Padlet by going to www.padlet.com. As an educator, you will have to sign up for a Padlet. For signing up, you can use your Google account or your Apple ID or your Microsoft account. For students, it is not necessary that they have to sign up or have an account on Padlet. They will still be able to share their posts, their thoughts, use the Padlet, provided you share the Padlet with the students. So as an educator, you will have to create the Padlet and share it with the students. Okay, so that's how you do it. Students need not create their account on a Padlet, but in case they have it, if they have their IDs, they might as well do that. Okay, in the last session we saw the basic Padlet wall. Okay, and we saw what are the various features available, what kind of posts can we add. It could be a text post, it could be an audio post, it could be a video post, it could be images. You also have the option of screen sharing. All of that is available in a Padlet. And this is what we saw in the last class. And finally, we saw how do we share it with the student. So you know that for sharing, you have the option of sharing the link. You have the option of sharing the QR code. So the link can be copied and shared with the students through the chat. If you're using Google Meet, through the chat, through Microsoft Teams chat, or through the Zoom chat, or you can just email it, send it across via Facebook, via Twitter. So there are so many options through which you can share the Padlet that you have created. Okay. So today I'm going to be taking it from here and letting all of you know that what are the different creative ways of using a Padlet as an educator, how you can use it to engage your students better. Okay. So I'm going to the next slide. This is what we've done. So today's objective is different formats and the features that we're going to study, and how to save and delete a Padlet. We did mention this in the last session, but I would be taking you through this a little more in details today, and some creative examples. So when I'm talking about some creative examples, I would be embedding it in the formats that I would be taking you through. Okay, so we are not going to be seeing that in isolation. I would use some examples in explaining it to you when I am discussing the different formats. So first, there are 7 options or 7 formats which Padlet allows. The 7 options are there in front of you on your screen. The first one is the wall format. So this is what we had seen in the last session. As you can see here, you have the posts arranged in the form of bricks. The second one is the stream format, which is the posts align itself one below the other. It's like a chat, okay? One after the other, you have it aligned. The grid is similar to the wall, but only thing is, in case of wall, the posts align itself according to their shapes. Whereas here, in case of grid, you see some gaps here. So they just arrange themselves in rows of boxes. Shelf will allow you to post depending upon various categories. So as the name suggests, shelf means stacks. Okay. So instead of randomly having the post on the Padlet, you will be getting it in different categories. The next one is map. This is very, very interesting. We'll be seeing this, especially social studies teachers will be finding it very useful. Canvas is used to show interlinkages between concepts, and timeline, as the name suggests, will be used to explain sequences or organization of a particular concept. Okay, for that we can use timeline. If this is clear, I'll move to the next one. So I said we'll be also taking the creative ways to use a Padlet. I have just mentioned some of them here on this slide. One is brainstorming, book reviews, story building, simple assessments, map work, collecting feedback, exit tickets, classroom newsletters, birthday walls, so many more, okay, other than the ones that I have listed. Most commonly, teachers use it as a brainstorming tool. So you share the Padlet with your students and ask them for their responses. So this is the most common application of Padlet, which is brainstorming. So getting the ideas and the thoughts from the students. Book reviews. So you can ask the students to share the review of the book that they have read. You could ask them to either write it in the form of, give it in the form of a text, or you could also ask them to send in an audio, a podcast, or you can also have it in the form of a video send, or just images of the book that they have read and some points of good things about the book, or whatever weaknesses or negative aspects of the book, if they want to write, even that they could share. Okay. Story building, simple assessments, map work, exit tickets, very useful for the teachers in order to get a feedback about how the lesson went, or what are the gray areas in at which you need to look on. So after you've taught a particular concept, you can share the Padlet link to the students and ask them to share, what did you learn today, or what are the concepts that you found difficult. So in a matter of minutes, you would get the feedback from as many number of participants, as many number of students who have the link to your Padlet. Newsletters is one very, very creative application of a Padlet. So you can create a Padlet or ask your students to create a Padlet if they have an account, and create beautiful newsletters. We do this with our students, like, imagine if there is a child who has his birthday today, and it's your class, and you start the class with Padlet and say that, it could be a nice surprise for the student. You can say that it is this student's birthday, this child's birthday, and I would want all the students to share in their wishes. So it would really make all the students happy, and also the one who celebrating the birthday. So so these are just some of the ways that I have mentioned. I am now going to take you actually through. At this juncture, can I ask Anuj if there is anything in the chat, or should I move ahead?
Sure, ma'am. Teachers, if you have any questions still here, please do share in the chat. We are going to wait for a minute. So if you have any query or question, please do share in the chat, and I'll take it to the ma'am. Ma'am, we are going to wait for a minute, and if there will be a question, I'll just quickly share with you.
All right.
Okay, ma'am, I think you can move forward. We will take more questions in the next session, next break.
Okay. So if my screen is visible here, so I'm going to take you through. So you know that you go to www.padlet.com. So I have a Padlet account. So this is how it opens up when I sign into www.padlet.com. So this is my dashboard. All right. So right now I have one Padlet which is created, and this Padlet was the one that we used for the last session. Okay. So these are all posts from the participants of the last session. Okay. Now, I am now going to quickly tell you that if you need to make a Padlet, if you need to create a Padlet, you click on the plus sign, the pink colored button that you see here, make a Padlet. So as simple as that. Join a Padlet is when somebody has created a Padlet, like I have created this Padlet and I share the link of this Padlet with you. So when you click on the link, you'll be able to post on my Padlet. So you can join a Padlet which is created by somebody else, provided you have the link or the QR code with you. Gallery is a collection of various creative Padlets made by the Padlet community or by different educators, which they can share with the rest of the world. So if you are looking for some examples, some ways in which Padlets can be used, you could browse through this. This will give you a lot of ideas. Okay, this is about the Padlet gallery. As I said, this is when the Padlet is shared with everybody. Okay, so now let me quickly begin with make a Padlet. So I'm going to click on this. So as I said, there are 7 formats. I am going to start with the stream format, okay, which is the most basic format. So I'm going to select this. First, you need to select the format. Now it is going to ask you, so by default, there is one beautiful background that is there for your Padlet wall. You could retain the same one, or if you want to change the background, and even that option is available. Okay, but first, the Padlet wall that you created, it is asking for some settings. So first, of course, title. I am going to title today's session as Padlet session 2. description. Participants, feel free to ask your doubts in the chat. Okay. Then icon, as I said, you may or may not choose. I want to make it interesting, so I'm going to select this first smiley. So you can see that the moment I select an icon, it is shown here. So when you're engaging, when you're in, conducting a class for smaller kids, for primary section, these are smaller ways by which you can, get them more engaged. They like emojis, the generation. Then this is the link to your Padlet. As I said, if you want it to be shared with others, you want to get their ideas, so you have to copy this and share this link with the students or the other educators. Wallpaper, the appearance is this one now, as it shows here. If you don't want it, you want to change this, there are a whole lot of options available. As of now, I'm not changing, I'm retaining the one because I like this. Color scheme, there are 2. Font, there are 4 options. I'm choosing the first default one. Display author name above each post. So if I keep this on, I would automatically get who's sending me the post, provided they have a Padlet account. So when you're doing this with your students, most of your students don't have a Padlet account. So in that case, their names would not be displayed. But if your students have their Padlet account, so they need not write who's sending in the post, their names would be automatically displayed here. So I'm keeping this on. Let's see how it shows up. Okay. New post position. I want the newer post to come on the top. So I'm keeping it first. Or if I change it to this, so you know that the new post will go at the bottom, one below the other. So I'm today keeping it at first. Okay, this is, I think, the most preferred one, because you want to know it is real-time collaboration. You want to know what is the recent post that has come. Okay, whether you want your participants, your students to comment yes or no, that is freely upon you to decide. I want you all to comment, so I'm keeping this on. It also allows you to give grades or likes and stars. So I am going to give thumbs up or down, whether you like it, or if you don't like it, thumbs down. Okay. Then it also allows you to select whether you want the posts to be published automatically, or do you want it to be first approved by you, because I'm the one who's created the Padlet. So before, when I share it to the students, I will do this setting that first I would want to see what their post is, and only if it is good, only if it is appropriate, I want it to be published. Okay, so in that case, I'll keep this on. Right now, I am not keeping this on. Okay, so whatever posts will be shared by all of my students will be automatically shown on my Padlet wall. Filter profanity is, it will automatically replace anything bad which is shared by some emojis. Okay, so you could keep this on in case you feel that there could be some participants, who may share something which is inappropriate. Okay, so I am done with the setting for my Padlet, and I move to next. All right, so it says that my setting for my Padlet is done, and now it is ready to be shared, and I could create the first post. So this is my Padlet wall, and to share the post, as I said, first as an educator, you can create one post so that the students know exactly what is to be done. So this is a simple one. Let's say I'm going to take, my topic is metals and non-metals. Okay, there are so many options of either uploading something from your device. If you want to take a photo, a selfie, if you want to share it, even that it allows. This is when you have to share a link. This is when you have to image search from the web, and there are a lot more other options also which are available: audio recording, screen recording, drawing, video recording, camera, Spotify, GIFs, so many different options. So what I'm going to do right now is, to save time, I'm going to take just image search, and see, the moment I clicked on image search, and my topic is non-metals and non-metals, I didn't even have to type it. So when I click on that, so it will search from the web. And it is giving me these options. So I think this is the image that I would like to go ahead with. And I could write here, list the points of differences between metals and non-metals. Okay, so now my post is ready. I'm going to publish it. So when I click on publish, so you see, this is how it is showing on my wall. Okay, I said I've selected the format as the stream format. Okay, the stream format, that is in the form of a chat, one below the other. So the next post that I'm going to make, I'll just create one more and keep it short to save time. So let's say I say hi, you could add whatever details that you want, and I'm clicking on publish. Okay, so you can see here the recent post comes on the top, and the format is one below the other. I'll add one more just to show it to you. Welcome everyone. And I share it. So this is how it is getting aligned one below the other. Okay, and now I want this to be shared with my participants. So I click on share, and you see a whole lot of options to share it. You copy the link and share it in the chat. You get the QR code and share the QR code with the participants, your students. You can send it in the form of a mail. The link can be sent in a mail. You can share it on Facebook, Twitter, share it on Google Classroom. Whole lot of options that are available. Okay, so this is how you share it. The moment you share it with your students, they will be able to add their post on this Padlet wall that is created. Okay, so when they will add, how will they add it? You'll have to explain it to them. Just click on the plus sign at the extreme right that you see, or double click anywhere, they'll be able to add in their post, and the post will be seen on the wall. So if you're sharing your screen with your participants, they'll be able to see real time all the posts coming from different students. Okay, and at the same time, they have the link to your Padlet. They'll be able to see the posts coming up on the wall. Okay, so here I will also explain this, or in the share option here, you have these options of exporting it or saving it as an image, a PDF, a CSV, an Excel spreadsheet, or you can also print it. I'll repeat again. You have the options of saving your Padlet that you've created as an image, PDF, CSV file, or an Excel spreadsheet, or you can also print it. Now, if you remember, I said that in the free version of Padlet, you can get to make only 3 Padlets. Okay, so let's say this is one Padlet that I had created. My students have posted. I am done with the activity. Okay, what do I do then? I will save this Padlet for my records as either a PDF or as an image. So I have the post and the entire Padlet with me saved. Okay, and then what do? I delete the Padlet. So when I delete the Padlet, it will allow me to make more Padlets. So in the free version, only 3 Padlets, but good enough. 3 Padlets are good enough for your regular teaching and learning activities. But as I said, if you are somebody who wants to use Padlet extensively, and at the same time you want to make more than 3 Padlets, in that case you'll have to go for the Pro version. And the Pro version is a paid version, but minimalistic. I think it is only around 95 rupees a month, or around 1,000 annually that you need to pay. And with that Pro version or the premium version, you get unlimited Padlets. So that's amazing. In fact, Padlet is an excellent tool. Okay, so this is about sharing and saving. I'll close this now. And now, because my topic is metals and non-metals, I feel that this format is not appropriate. I can have the students list down the differences between metals and non-metals on this Padlet wall. So what do? I don't think this is the correct format that I have chosen. So I will now want to change the format. I am going to change format here. I'll repeat again. Next to the gear icon, you have these three dots, these three ellipses. Click on that and you can go and change the format. So I'm going to change the format. And I think for differences between metals, non-metals, plant cell, animal cell, for language teachers, differences between notice writing and advertisement. For SST teachers, it could be differences between any topic, maybe private sector and the public sector. And if you're doing this topic with your students, let's go for the shelf format. So I'm clicking on the shelf format here. So you see, I'm changing the format from stream to shelf. So the moment I did that, I saw the posts got aligned in shelves, in categories. And I have these sections created. So what do? I can have as many sections. So I'm going to name it as, this question is on difference between metals and non-metals. So as a teacher, I will create the section first, metals, non-metal. So as you can see here, now the plus icon is not here at the extreme right, but it has moved to the shelves. So when students get the access to this Padlet that you created, when you share the link with them, they get it like this. And what do? When they're writing about metals, they'll click on this plus and they will say that they are electropositive, so it goes under metals. For non-metals, they are not electropositive, or they have a tendency to accept electrons, whatever is the answer. So you see the difference, that depending upon the topic, because I wanted to do differences between, so I selected the shelf format. So this will allow students to add it as per the topic in different categories. Is this clear? Are there any questions in the chat now, Anuj?
Yes, ma'am. So there is a one question. So Tejas, if you have more questions, please do share in the chat, and I will take it to the ma'am.
Yes.
There is a one question. It's like we are having a paid Padlet. So the setting format will be the same or different in paid and a free version?
Anuj, I lost your voice in between. Could you just repeat the question again?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. So, ma'am was asking that the format of the settings, is it similar in free version and the paid version, or is there any difference?
I mentioned this, that all the features that are present in the paid version or the premium version, as far as settings and all are concerned, is also available in the free version. So all these options are there in the paid as well as the free version. In the paid version, you get to make unlimited Padlets. In the free version, only 3 Padlets. In the paid version, you can post, or the students also can post, bigger files. So the file size is a major difference. Okay, so bigger videos you will not be able to post in the free version, but the paid version will allow you to upload bigger files also. I hope it is clear.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Poonam ma'am has asked that, is it possible that the responses which her kids give can be just visible to ma'am only, not to the whole class?
Yes, but okay, let me just show that to you. So how do we do that? Again, I'm going to go to the settings because I need to now change the settings according to that. Okay. So here, if you click on require approval, okay, so you'll have to turn this on, require approval. So when you do this, so let's save this. So when I do that, the posts that are shared by the students will not be visible on the wall until the teacher approves it. Okay. But as I said, the basic purpose of a Padlet is collaboration, getting to know each other's point of views, each other's thoughts. But yes, if you want to use a Padlet in the form of a quick assessment in the class saying that, okay, so today we studied about the differences between, let's say, a notice and an advertisement, and I want you all to quickly share in your thoughts or on one post, what are the differences? So you want the students to share in the differences between the concepts. So what you could do is, as I said, they will share, but they will not be able to see the post. First, as a teacher, you will be able to see it. Only when you approve it, it will go on the wall. It will be published on the wall. So you can keep it hidden from them for a required amount of time till all the students share the post. You go through all of them, and when you show that yes, you got the assessment that you're looking for, then you can publish it and make it visible for all the students. I hope I've answered it.
Thanks, ma'am. Sweetie ma'am has asked that can we change the name of the Padlet later?
Yes, you can. Again, it is the same thing. You go to the gearbox settings. Settings will allow you to change. See here, title is changed. All right.
Yeah. Shilpa ma'am has asked that is it necessary for students to have a Padlet account?
It is not necessary that the students need to have a Padlet account. As a teacher, you will create the Padlet and share the link, copy link, and share it with your students in their chats, in whatever way you want to share it with them in through mails. They can post there. They will be able to add all the posts, all that you are able to add, even they'll be able to add. Okay. But only thing is, as I said, it will remain anonymous. If the child wants to mention, like, I'll tell you, as an educator, if what I suggest is, if the students don't have a Padlet account, here in the place of subject, you can ask them to write their name. So let's say Rajesh is the name of the student. Okay. And then whatever they want to write, they could add in here. So I found it easy, or whatever it is, and then publish. So it will show that this post has come from the student Rajesh. But if the student has a Padlet account, then it will automatically show. Like in this case, see, it is showing Shaila Chandrasekhar. I did not type in my name, but because I have a Padlet account, it is automatically displayed. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am. So yes, ma'am, you can go forward. The remaining question can be asked.
Okay, all right. So now this is one format that I explained to you. In fact, the first one was wall. The second one that we've seen is shelf. The third format that I'm going to be taking you through is, let me change the format and take you through maybe Canvas. Okay. So see, the moment you change the format, all your posts are like this, and you can place it wherever you want to. You can drag it. But the best thing about the Canvas format is it will allow you to show interlinkages, concept mapping, as we say. So how do we do that? The three dots that you have here to edit your post, click on that. It says connect to a post. So let's say I want this post to be connected. To which post? Let's say I want it to be connected to this one. So it shows that there is linkages between these two. You can drag this. You can place it anywhere that you want to. And let's say even this one, let's say, okay, electropositive, it's about metals. So I want it to be connected to this one. So you see, so this particular format will help you in explaining to the students the interlinkages between various concepts. So it is for the educators to think creatively, and either first you ask all the students to share in their posts. Okay, so we have finished with one lesson, children, and today I want you all to quickly tell me what are the important aspects that you've learned in the chapter. So students will start posting randomly whatever thoughts that come to their mind about that particular chapter. After that is done, then you can show that how can we have interlinkages between them. So you can say that, now link the concepts amongst themselves. So that will take the lesson to the next level, wherein students will think that this topic could be linked to this one, or this does not have any connection with this particular subtopic. So that is how we can use the Canvas format. Okay. I'm going to now take you to the next format, and the next format. So I'm again going to change format, and in the change format, this is the timeline one that I want you to see. So as the name suggests, all your posts are aligned in the form of a timeline. So I would like to clear one thing here. As a teacher, when you're creating a Padlet, at that time itself, you will decide what should be the format, depending upon your topic. Okay. Now, right now, I am just saving time and just changing one format into another. But as an educator, as I said, it is more appropriate that you decide for this topic, I think this format works well, and then you share the link with the students for them to post. Okay. Now, let's say this is the timeline one. So how do we add the post? So here, I'm adding something here. Let's say we're talking about life cycle of a butterfly. And I publish it here. So you can see here, it is coming in the form of a bar at the bottom, showing in the form of a timeline. So let's say students are sharing in their post, and now you want them to align it sequence. So you can actually change the form and align it. So that is why this is called as the timeline format. How can we use it in the class? If you're teaching, let's say, you're a language teacher and you finished teaching one particular lesson or a plot, you say, students, come on, now you are going to share the interesting aspects about the lesson that you learned. So let's say the students start sharing in their posts, and then we say that now let's arrange it in the sequence. Okay, so what happened first in the lesson, then what happened. So you are also allowing the students to think sequentially that which was the incident that happened first, which happened second. So it can be an excellent tool for recapitulation also, wherein you're asking the students to revisit the topics and identify what happened first and what happened next. Okay, so this is the timeline sequence, excellently used by for all the subjects. In fact, languages, as I gave an example, for social studies, when you're teaching them, like what were the sequences of various actions or events that took place when you're explaining a topic, that way this could be used. Any questions at this juncture?
So Nidhi ma'am has just mentioned that we can write timeline of history event as well.
Absolutely, that's a very good question, and yes, absolutely.
Great. Soumya ma'am has just asked that can show how the save Padlet will look in the Padlet account.
Okay, so let me see if I could show that to you. Why am I not able to do it here? Just a minute, huh? Just a second. So I'm going here and see here. So if you want to save it, let's say I'm going to save it as a PDF. So you see the various options here on the screen. Let's say I want to share it as a PDF. So it's giving me these options. How do I want it to be, in the A4 format, the landscape format, or the portrait format? So I'm retaining the one that is displayed, A4 and portrait, and I say publish. So see here. So this you can download, you can print, you can keep it for your records. So this activity is done. I have the evidence that I conducted this. I have the records for it. I save it. And then I delete that Padlet and I make new Padlets, fresh Padlets. So that is how you can do it. I hope this is clear.
Yes, ma'am. So Nidhi ma'am has asked that can you show the map Padlet too as well?
Okay, yes, I'll do that. So I'll do one thing. I will go back. Okay, so this was the first Padlet that I had created for the last session, and this is the Padlet that I created now. And you can see here there are 3 dots here. When I click on that, this will allow me to copy the link and share it with you all. This will allow me to archive it. Archiving is very important. So let's say if I archive this Padlet, I'm done with the activity. My students have completed it, and I don't want the students to have access to this Padlet anymore. Okay, so in that case, I archive it. So though the students have the link to your Padlet, they will not be able to access it till you unarchive it. Okay, and here you also have the option of delete Padlet. So if you click on delete Padlet, it will ask for a confirmation whether you really want to delete it. You do that, and then the Padlet is deleted, and you can make fresh Padlets. Okay, so this is what it is. Now the map version, I will take another one. So let me click make a Padlet here. And you're asking for the map one. So I'm going to go for map. So I select this. So again, by default, it's giving some title. You can change it to whatever is your topic. So let's say wildlife sanctuaries in India is my topic. Description, this is some random description that automatically comes. You can change it to whatever details that you want to give to your students. And then this is important, the map style. See here, there are so many options for map. Okay, so I'm going to go for the basic one, the first one, and I select that. That is what is displayed. And now I am going to say next and start posting. So you can see it here. So how do we do this? You see the plus sign here, wildlife sanctuaries. So instead of just listing them, how about asking them to plot it on a map? So let's say, okay, the one at Karnataka, you have a Bhadra wildlife. Okay, I'm writing that Bhadra wildlife Karnataka. See here. So it comes here. Then I also can make it more interesting by adding an image. So I don't have to type it again. Let me take a nice, interesting one. Maybe this one. And the color of my post is white. I would like to have it red, let's say. And I publish it. So see here, it is showing you exactly. So I can use the plus sign to zoom in and to zoom out, the minus sign. And you can actually show where exactly is the sanctuary on the wall. So I want to add another one just to show it to you. Let's say the one in Kerala. Okay, the Tardoba one in Maharashtra. 1 second. This one. All right. This time I'm not adding the image just to save time. And then I want the color to be red so that students understand the relation. It's the same color and I'm publishing it. So see here, it is showing it to you. So now you can show the interlinkages also between the various. You can drag it the way you want to. You can connect it to the other post that you've already created. So if I click on the 3 dots here, it will say connect to a post. So I can show that, if you're talking about a field trip that the students are going to go for, so you can say first we are going to go to Delhi, from Delhi we are going to go to Chennai. So all those connections also can be shown if you have different plots on the map. I hope this is clear. So this is
Yes.
an excellent tool, teachers. As I said, a lot of times we think that Padlet is just for mere collaboration, just for mere getting some thoughts or brainstorming, but can be an excellent tool for teaching, okay, various topics. It only depends as to how creatively you think. All right. Now, I am now going back to my earlier Padlet. I don't know where that Padlet went. So let me close this. And we are here. So this is the Padlet, my earlier one. And quickly, I am going to share the link to this so that you know that how do you share it with your students, because you want to have their posts on it. So I'm going to share it through a link. So I copy the link. And now I'm going to share it in the chat with you all. Okay, so I'm posting it here. I want it to be sent to everyone. How do I do that? Everyone in the meeting. And yes, it goes here. See whether you can access it.
Sure, ma'am. So while the teacher accessing it, I'll quickly share more question teacher has shared. Okay, one of the question has been answered by sharing the link. Vani ma'am just wanted to know that how a kid can upload a video on Padlet. Do they have an option about it?
Yes, they do. How do we do that? So simple. Click, like you share any post. So for any post, you need to click on the plus sign, give it a title. So I'm going to give it a title video because the question is about video. And then click on these 3 options here. When you click on that, so you have upload, video recorder. You can upload a small video that is there with you that could be uploaded. Is that okay? Also, it gives you the option of sharing a video from YouTube. So if you have the link of the YouTube video, you could add it here. So let's say food, maybe something. Let me see if we can do that. Balanced diet. Let me see if you have options to that. Yes. So here. So you can see here, and then you publish. You have the video shared. So that's how the students will share the video.
Great, ma'am. So, so before going forward, allow me to run the second poll for today, which is at this point after the session. How comfortable you feel with the Padlet now, and how satisfied are you with the session? I request all teachers to please participate and let us know how comfortable you feel now with the Padlet and how satisfied are you with the session. Great. Our teachers, if you have more questions, please do share in the chat. We will happy to address them. Poonam ma'am, can you share like what step you are asking to show it again? If you can share, it will be much better. Okay, Poonam ma'am is asking to, can you quickly repeat the step of map, Padlet map 1?
Yes, I'll do that. Okay. So I'm going to my main page here. And because I want this another Padlet to be created, because I already have 3, it will not allow me to create more. So I'll delete this one. So it is asking for a confirmation, and there is a code which is shown here. So I'm writing that 9341, and it says delete. So that goes, which means I can make another Padlet. So I go to make a Padlet, and I want to select the map format. So I'm going and selecting the format as map. So here you give it a title, make the basic settings, description, icon, map style. If you don't want the one that is displayed, if you wanted another one, so let's see how this looks. Maybe this one, whatever you feel appropriate. Okay. And then that's it. Make all these settings, whether you want the students to comment, whether you want the students to give stars, likings, all of that. And then next, and then start posting. That's it. So your wall is ready. And to post, the rule that I've said is click on the plus sign and then search the place. Let's say New York. Let's go to New York. Okay. Freedom. Publish. So you can see, here it is. I hope it is clear. So you can add as many places that you want to. Just type in the name of the place and it will be shown on the wall. And I also told you that you can show interconnections. So you can link one post to another. And one more important thing is that in the map format, it allows you to open with Google Maps also. So that kind of integration is also there in the Padlet map. So it will open in Google Map if you want it to be like that. Yes.
That's great, ma'am. Okay, so there is another question. So one of the teacher has asked that can you suggest about the suitability of using Padlet with grade 2 students?
Okay. So for grade 2 students, what you could do is you can have them share. Okay, let's say the topic is seasons or food, basic, my family members. Okay, I'm talking about at grade 2 level. So you can create the Padlet wall and share the link with the students and tell them that I would want you all to post a family photograph of yours on this wall. Or I would want you all to write, how do you feel today? Okay, excited, sad. If they're not able to type in, you can say that they can share it in the form of an emoji. Okay, they could write what they had for dinner or what they had for lunch. So you could relate it to the topic food that we eat. So accordingly, depending upon the age group, you can create activities for the students. And today's generation is really smart, and second graders would be able to use it very easily. Yes. Any more questions?
Yes, ma'am. So there another question which is related to this grade 2 section only, that can Padlet be using it for dictation in the grade 2?
Why not? Absolutely. I like the idea of, you said dictation test, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it can be done. So how do we do that? Okay, if I close this here and I'll go to my earlier Padlet. So as I said, in the setting, you can set it to the one that I shared with you all. I think I'll open that again. So if you can quickly share, yes, see here. I go to the settings gear icon. And here I say require approval. Okay, so when I turn this on, you see that somebody has sent this feedback, that's a great session, but it is not published. It is waiting for my approval. You can see it because I've shared my screen. But if the screen is not shared, it is only I who's able to see this post. So you can give it for a dictation test, saying that you call out the words and students quickly type in. So you will be able to see whether they are typing in correctly or no. And then after the dictation test is done, you can click on approve so that the students also get to see. I hope I have answered this.
Yes, ma'am. So there are more questions, but before taking them, thank you so much, ma'am, for such a wonderful presentation, for such a wonderful session. I hope teachers has find it useful and enjoyed our whole session. And thank you so much, teacher, for your patience, for your great questions. Some of the suggestions also we have got during the session. So thank you so much for all the participation you have done. Teacher who asking for the certificate, as I shared, we will going to see the participation level of the teachers throughout the session, and based on that we will provide the certificate within 7 working days. And I also have shared some of the links regarding our upcoming live classes. Please do check out the list of the classes which we are going to conduct in the upcoming days, and do join our classes by booking your seat. Please do share the link with your peer teachers as well. We also have created a Telegram group and a channel. Please do join the Telegram group and channel so that you can get regular updates regarding our live classes, newsletter, service, and much more. And yeah, please do keep coming for our classes and help us to create a quality classes which for you. I also have shared a link. It's a Google form link where we trying to understand that what's your current needs and requirement, and based on your responses and suggestion, we'll surely design and schedule our classes according to your suggestion. So please do fill out this form as well. If you already filled, thank you so much. If not, please fill out the form. It will take hardly 2 minutes. So just quickly fill out this form. And I'm also going to share the recording of today's class as well, so that you can watch it as per your suitable time only. So yeah, ma'am. There's another question from a teacher that she's asking that is there any limit for the students to participate on the Padlet board?
No, there is no limit at all. So one Padlet can have as many number of students joining in and as many number of posts. So it's unlimited posts and unlimited number of participants collaborating together on one Padlet board.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. So I have shared the recording of today's live class. Please, if you want to rewatch the steps, you can directly watch it from there. I'm going to share the schedule for upcoming classes as well. So please do check that as well. We are going to wait for 2 minutes more. So if the teachers have more questions, we can address them. If you got all your answer and you have filled the survey form, you are free to go.
Okay, I think there's one in the chat. It says that, I think a recent one, definitely one Padlet per class. Not necessary. That depends upon how you want it to be, how, like, let's say, so you can also have.
Yeah, Nina ma'am has shared that's a follow-up message. She has shared that she is too excited to use this tool into her class. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the session. And then she shared that definitely one Padlet per class.
Generally one Padlet per class, but it is not necessary. Like if you divide the class into maybe 3 groups, and you want to see how this group is doing and the other group is doing, so you can create 3 Padlets and share the individual links with those groups. So you get to know like how they're doing collectively in a smaller group. Even that could be done. So depends as to how you want to use it. So even one Padlet per class is fine, or as I said, it depends on the activity and how do you want the responses to come to you.
So great. Thank you so much, teacher, for participation. Thank you so much for your kind words, your suggestions, and for your patience as well. We have exceeded that.
So, Anuj, I would also like to thank the participants for being so interactive. A lot of questions that came up in the chat, and very good questions, in fact. And I really liked answering all of that. I hope the session is going to be useful. I hope that you take the learnings, the ideas to your classrooms and share it with your students. Thank you so much, all of you, for taking out time to attend the session. And Anuj, thank you once again to the entire team of Teacher Class. As I said earlier also, that it's a very noble thing to actually take up an initiative like this to help educators with various tools. I think it's really commendable.